Here's something nobody tells you when you're in the middle of your working years, saving as hard as you can. You can do everything right. You can max out your 401k. You can watch your balance grow for decades. You could hit the number you always dreamed about and then retire and still lie awake at night wondering if you're going to be okay. How is that possible? How can someone with $1 million in the bank feel financially insecure? Because they built wealth, but they didn't build income. And in retirement, income is everything. Today on Retirement Security Simplified, we're going to talk about why your net worth, that number you've been watching your whole career, is actually not what determines your retirement confidence. Your monthly cash flow is. And once you understand this shift, it changes how you think about everything. Let's get into it. Let me paint a picture for you. Two people retire on the same day. Both have exactly $1 million saved. On paper, they look identical. Person A has their $1 million sitting in a brokerage account, fully invested in the market. No pension, no annuity, just a portfolio and a plan to pull money from it every month to live on. Person B has structured things a little differently. They have Social Security coming in, a guaranteed income stream from an annuity that covers their basic bills, and their remaining investments sitting in the market for long-term growth. Now, the market drops 30% in the first year of retirement. Both of them lost money on paper. But person A, they're in trouble. They still have to pull money out of a portfolio every single month, even at depressed values. They're selling low, and that permanently damages what their portfolio can recover to. This is what's called sequence of returns risk, and it's one of the most dangerous threats in retirement that most people have never heard of. Person B, they feel it, but they're not panicking because their bills are still covered. Their guaranteed income didn't drop 30%. They don't have to touch their investments at the worst possible time. They can wait. They can breathe. Same net worth going in, completely different retirement experience. Net worth tells you what you have. Cash flow tells you what you can actually live on. And in retirement, only one of those things pays your bills. I want you to think back to the last day you received a paycheck from your employer. You knew exactly when it was coming. You knew exactly how much it was going to be. You could plan your mortgage payment, your groceries, your utility bills, all of it around that number. There was certainty. And that certainty created confidence. That is exactly what retirement is supposed to feel like. But here's the problem. When you retire without a guaranteed income plan, you essentially fire your paycheck. You walk away from that predictability. And instead of a steady paycheck, you've got a pile of money that you're hoping lasts as long as you do, while the market does whatever it wants. That's not confidence. That's a guessing game. Now, here's the good news. You can rebuild that paycheck in retirement. You can create your own stream of predictable, reliable monthly income. And when you do, everything changes. There are three main sources of guaranteed or highly predictable retirement income. The first is Social Security. It's the foundation of most people's retirement income. And we'll talk about it more in just a moment, because when you claim it and how you claim it makes an enormous difference. The second is a pension, if you're fortunate enough to have one. Pensions are becoming rarer in the private sector, but if you have one, federal employees, teachers, some union workers, that guaranteed monthly payment is an incredibly valuable asset. The third, and this is where many retirees can close the gap, is a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider. Think of it as a personal pension you create for yourself. You put money in, it grows based on a portion of the market index performance with no downside risk from market losses, and then you turn on a guaranteed income stream you cannot outlive. When your essential monthly expenses, your housing, your food, your insurance, your health care, are covered by guaranteed income sources, market volatility stops being a crisis. It becomes background noise. You're not dependent on the market to pay your light bill. And that right there is where retirement confidence actually lives. Let's talk about Social Security because most people are leaving a significant amount of guaranteed monthly income on the table and they don't even know it. Here's the basic math. If you claim Social Security at 62, the earliest possible age, you're locking in a permanently reduced benefit. We're talking a reduction of up to 30% compared to what you'd receive at your full retirement age. But if you wait, every year you delay past your full retirement age, your benefit grows by approximately 8% per year, all the way up to age 70. That's a guaranteed 8% return on your Social Security benefit. You will not find that anywhere else with that level of certainty. And here's why this matters so much for cash flow. We're not just talking about a little more money. We're talking about a permanently higher monthly income for the rest of your life that also gets annual cost of living adjustments to help protect you against inflation. For married couples, the stakes are even higher. The larger of the two Social Security benefits becomes the survivor benefit when one spouse passes away. If the higher earner claimed early and locked in a reduced benefit, the surviving spouse lives with that reduction for the rest of their life. That is a decision that can cost tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Now, I understand that waiting to claim isn't always simple. You have bills. You have a gap between when you retire and when you want to turn on Social Security. That's exactly where a bridge strategy comes in. Using income from other sources, like an annuity or retirement savings, to cover your expenses during that window so you can delay claiming and maximize that benefit for life. Now, let's talk about something that quietly chips away at your retirement cash flow, and most people don't see it coming: taxes. Specifically, the taxes on your Social Security benefits and the Medicare surcharges that can show up when your income crosses certain thresholds. Here's what most retirees don't realize. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefit can be subject to federal income tax. Not because the IRS is unfair, but because of something called provisional income. Provisional income is a formula that adds up your adjusted gross income, or AGI, plus any tax exempt interest, plus half of your Social Security benefit. If that total exceeds certain thresholds, the IRS starts taxing a portion of your Social Security. And it doesn't take as much income as you'd think to hit those limits. IRA withdrawals count, investment interest counts, even income from tax-exempt municipal bonds counts in this formula. Then there's IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount. This is a Medicare surcharge on your Part B and Part D premiums. If your income from 2 years ago was above certain thresholds, Medicare charges you more, sometimes several $100s more per month per person. So if you're not planning carefully, you could find yourself in a situation where your gross income looks fine, but after taxes and IRMA surcharges, your actual spendable cash flow is significantly lower than you expected. The good news is that with the right planning, things like Roth conversions done in the right years, using qualified charitable distributions from your IRA if you're charitably inclined, and sequencing your income sources strategically, you can legally and legitimately reduce how much of your Social Security gets taxed and potentially avoid those Medicare surcharges altogether. This is not complicated tax advice, it's just smart income planning, and it can put real money back in your pocket every month. So let's bring all this together into a simple framework. I call it the income floor approach, and it's really the foundation of everything we talk about on this channel. Here's how it works. Step 1. Figure out your essential monthly expenses. Not your wants, not your travel budget, your needs. Housing, utilities, groceries, insurance premiums, healthcare costs, transportation. What does it actually cost you to live every month at a basic, comfortable level? Step 2. Add up your guaranteed income. Social Security, pension if you have one, any annuity income you've set up. These are the income sources that show up every month, regardless of what the market is doing. Step 3. Identify the gap. If your guaranteed income doesn't fully cover your essential expenses, that gap is the most important number in your retirement plan because that gap is what leaves you vulnerable. That gap is what forces you to sell investments in a down market. That gap is where retirement stress lives. Step 4. Close the gap with a guaranteed solution. This is where a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider can be genuinely powerful. You're not speculating. You're not hoping the market cooperates. You're locking in a guaranteed monthly payment that covers that gap for life. And step 5, now let your remaining investments grow without pressure. When your floor is covered, your portfolio isn't your lifeline anymore. It's your legacy. It's your travel fund. It's your cushion for unexpected expenses. And you can let it grow without the stress of needing to pull from it every time life gets expensive. When this plan is in place, a market correction is no longer a catastrophe. It's just an event. Because your bills are covered, your income is secure, and you can sleep at night. That is retirement confidence, not a number on a statement, a plan that pays you every month, no matter what. Let me leave you with this. The retirees who feel the most secure, the ones who actually enjoy their retirement without constant financial worry, are almost never the ones with the biggest portfolios. They're the ones with the most predictable income. They built a floor. They maximized their Social Security. They managed their taxes wisely. And they created a plan that pays them reliably, consistently, every single month. You can do the same thing. If you'd like to learn more, take a look at the free booklet called Retire Smart. It's linked on the page in the description box. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find this channel so they can plan with more confidence too. This is Retirement Security Simplified, where we specialize in turning confusion into confidence, one conversation at a time.